Chosen. 1. This is not coincidence. This is divine appointment. Heaven has called your name at the exact moment your spirit was about to give up. You've been fighting in silence, weary in body, but chosen in destiny. And now God says, "Behold, I am doing a new thing." Isaiah 43:19. The battle that drained you is ending, and the blessing that restores you is beginning. You are standing at the edge of a supernatural breakthrough, a divine wealth transfer prepared for those who refuse to quit. Stay still, anointed one. The storm is ending. Your rise begins now. Chosen one. I know what it feels like when your body refuses to move, when even sunlight feels heavy and getting out of bed feels like climbing a mountain without oxygen. The world calls it laziness, but heaven calls it warfare. You're not weak, you're weary from invisible battles. You've been fighting wars that no one sees, carrying weights that no one acknowledges, and yet you're still here. That's not failure. That's faith in motion. They don't see the tears that fall into your pillow. They don't hear the whispers that tell you you're falling behind. But heaven does. And while you thought you were forgotten, angels were standing guard at the edge of your bed. You didn't just survive. The night you overcame an attack meant to end your purpose. Chosen one. What you're facing right now isn't ordinary fatigue. It's spiritual exhaustion from standing on the front lines of a war that has lasted far too long. You've been praying for others while no one prayed for you. You've poured out until you were empty, encouraged others while your own hope was fading. And still you showed up. Still you kept believing. That's what makes you dangerous to darkness. I've been there too. I know what it's like to whisper to God, "I can't do this anymore," and to hear only silence. But I learned something sacred in that silence, that God's presence doesn't always come with thunder or miracles. Sometimes it comes as a quiet presence beside you in the dark. He doesn't scold you for being tired. He sits with you. He catches every tear. He doesn't leave when you collapse. He waits until you breathe again. This is not punishment. This is preparation. The exhaustion you feel is not the end of your strength. It's the beginning of your transformation. You've mistaken depletion for defeat, but heaven calls it development. Every moment you choose to keep breathing when quitting would be easier, you're waging spiritual warfare. You may not see it, but the heavens do. You've been fighting not with swords or fire, but with endurance, and endurance is heaven's most sacred weapon. When others gave up, you stayed. When others walked away, you whispered, "God, just hold me." That's what sets you apart. You are not being punished for being chosen. You are being refined because you are trusted. Even Jesus needed help carrying the cross. So why do you still think you must carry everything alone? The strength God values isn't the strength that never breaks. It's the kind that breaks and still returns to Him. What you call collapsing, heaven calls surrender. You've been running on your own power for too long. Now, heaven is saying, "Rest, anointed one. Lay it down. You've done enough. Let me carry what's too heavy for you." Your bed is not your prison. It's your altar. That place where you wept, where you whispered, where you nearly gave up. It has become sacred ground. Heaven has heard every word spoken there. The tears, the sighs, the silence, all of it has been transformed into incense before God. You thought you were lying still in defeat, but you've actually been hidden in divine incubation. You are being remade in stillness. Chosen one, you are being rewired for a new season, not just of spiritual renewal, but divine overflow. The exhaustion you feel isn't the end. It's the signal that a supernatural shift is near. Heaven is preparing to pour into every empty place strength, where there was fatigue, clarity, where there was confusion, abundance, where there was lack. You've endured long nights of wrestling in the dark, but even that has purpose, because what feels like stillness to you is actually strategy to heaven. God is teaching you that rest itself can be warfare, that the quiet can still shake kingdoms, that sometimes the holiest thing you can do is to stop striving and allow him to fight for you. So if all you managed today was to breathe, to whisper, "I'm still here," then you've already won. Heaven saw that moment. Hell feared it. The earth felt it. Because when a chosen one refuses to quit, even in silence, something shifts in the spirit realm. You are not lazy. You are not broken. You are in divine transition. And soon, the same bed that held your exhaustion will witness your rising. God has been beside you, not distant, but waiting for this moment when your surrender turns into strength. Chosen one, don't mistake this stillness for defeat. You are not stuck, you are being prepared. The same God who watched over you in the night is about to call your name in the morning. And when you rise, even if you rise in pieces, heaven will rise with you. This is not the end. This is the beginning of your return, stronger, wiser, radiant with divine power. Get ready, anointed one. The battle is shifting. The season of exhaustion is ending. Heaven is moving, and soon, so will you. Chosen one. When you're too tired to move, too weary to pray, heaven still sees you. That silence you've been living in isn't abandonment, it's divine adjustment. You're not being punished, you're being prepared. The stillness that feels like delay is actually God resetting your spirit for what's coming next. You've been holding on for so long that even breathing feels like labor. But listen, the battle isn't proof that you're weak. It's confirmation that you carry something the enemy fears. The pressure on your life is heaven's way of proving your endurance. You've prayed, "God, why does this keep happening to me?" And the answer is simple: because you're marked for more. The greater the calling, the heavier the warfare. But what looks like resistance is really refinement. You are being stripped of every false strength so that only divine power remains. You've spent years pouring out for others, praying when you had nothing left and smiling when you wanted to disappear. But heaven has seen it all. Every tear, every sigh, every moment you whispered, "God, I can't." That was worship in its purest form, surrender. And surrender is the language that moves heaven. Don't mistake the silence for God's absence. He hasn't gone quiet. He's gone deeper. While you've been lying there wondering if your purpose has expired, heaven has been building new capacity within you. What used to drain you will no longer destroy you. You're not falling apart, you're being remade. The same God who watched you collapse in exhaustion is the one preparing to crown you with restoration. This fatigue you feel is spiritual evidence that you've been in transition. You're not being buried, you're being planted. The darkness that surrounds you is the soil that's nurturing your next season. And when the light breaks through, you'll realize that what you lost wasn't stolen. It was sown. The prayers that felt unanswered were actually investments, and the harvest is closer than you think. Heaven is shifting the atmosphere around your life. The warfare has intensified because your breakthrough is near. You've been in a divine waiting room, not a prison cell. And waiting is holy when it's God's timing. The anointing that's about to rest on you couldn't come through comfort. It had to come through crushing. That's why you've been isolated, misunderstood, even forgotten by people you once trusted. But God hid you to protect what He was growing in you. Chosen one, the same bed that once felt like your cage is becoming your altar. That's where heaven met you. That's where God collected your tears and rewrote your story. He didn't leave when you shut down. He stayed beside you, whispering strength into your silence. What you thought was the end was actually his hand pressing reset on your destiny. Right now, heaven is orchestrating what you cannot see. Promises are aligning, doors are unlocking, and people you've never met are being positioned to bless you. Your name is being spoken in places you've never been. You've been overlooked by men, but never by God. And the season that drained you is about to become the proof that his favor never left. You may not have energy, but you still have fire. That spark that refused to die, that's the breath of God still inside you. The enemy wanted to smother it, but even in silence it kept burning. And soon, that flicker will become a flame that reignites your purpose. You'll look back on this season and realize it was never depression, it was divine construction. The truth is, chosen one, you didn't lose your faith, you've been walking it out in slow motion. Heaven knows the cost of your endurance. God isn't asking you to get up perfectly. He's asking you to rise willingly. Rise with trembling hands if you must. Rise in fragments if you have to. Because when you do, you're not just standing, you're shifting realms. Your stillness was never wasted. It birthed discernment, compassion, and wisdom that power alone could never teach. The one who lay down in tears is not the same person who will rise. You're emerging refined, anointed, and ready to carry what's been promised. So breathe, anointed one. Heaven is closer than your exhaustion makes it seem. The angels that watched you fall asleep in despair are rejoicing because they know what comes next. You're not buried in sorrow, you're planted in purpose. And the soil that once felt like suffocation will soon bloom with the evidence of your resurrection. Rise slowly if you must. But rise knowing this, when your feet touch the floor again, even the ground will know a warrior just stood up. Chosen one. What you've been feeling isn't ordinary tiredness, it's spiritual exhaustion from carrying something divine for too long. The war you're fighting isn't visible to others, and that's what makes it heavier. You're not battling laziness or lack of motivation. You're battling invisible resistance designed to make you question your worth and your purpose. But listen carefully, the presence of this battle is the clearest proof that you are chosen. You've been under attack because of what you carry. The enemy sees what's coming for you, and that's why he's been trying to convince you to lay it down. Those whispers that echo in your mind, you're falling behind, you'll never be enough. God forgot you are not your thoughts. They are distractions sent to disconnect you from your divine momentum. If you've been feeling like your prayers are bouncing off the ceiling, it's because heaven is silent when it's rearranging everything behind the scenes. What's happening right now is not punishment. It's positioning. God is not ignoring you. He's reintroducing you to the version of yourself he always intended you to be. The old strength, the old routines, the old ways of surviving, they won't work anymore because he's elevating you to a higher spiritual frequency. You are being transformed in silence, like gold purified in fire. You've outgrown your old skin, and heaven is stretching you into something greater. I know what it feels like to be in that in-between, too awake to go back, too tired to move forward. I've been there. I've laid in that same stillness, asking God, why does it feel like you're not speaking? And his answer came quietly. Because I'm not just speaking to you, I'm rebuilding you. That's what's happening to you now. Anointed one, God isn't just giving you new strength. He's changing your capacity. You are being built to handle more, see clearer, and walk lighter. The warfare over your life is intense because your next season carries weight. Heaven doesn't invest this much battle into something ordinary. You've been hidden for a reason, not forgotten, but preserved. You've been isolated, not rejected, because what's inside you can't be exposed too early. If you had risen when you wanted to, you would have carried the wrong people, the wrong habits, and the wrong mindset into your next level. So heaven slowed you down, not to hurt you, but to protect what's holy inside you. Chosen one. Hear this, your rest was not wasted time. The world told you to hustle, but God told you to heal. You've been trained in silence. You've learned how to pray when you didn't feel His presence, how to believe without proof, how to hold faith when you felt forgotten. Those aren't small lessons, they are spiritual armor. You've been equipped for longevity, not popularity. You're not meant to shine quickly, you're meant to shine steadily. And now heaven is shifting the air around your name. The same place where you felt trapped will become the ground where you rise. The same people who overlooked you will watch the glory of God unfold through you. Doors that once stayed closed are about to open without effort. You don't have to chase what's already been assigned to you. You don't need to strive anymore. Divine timing is unlocking what human effort never could. Your exhaustion has been the final sign that the old season is closing. You've been emptied because heaven is about to fill you again, not just with rest, but with revelation. You're stepping into a divine exchange. Your weariness for wisdom, your tears for testimony, your waiting for acceleration. Everything that's been delayed is aligning. Every loss is being rewritten as a lesson. Every night of confusion is turning into morning clarity. Chosen one, you're rising differently this time. Not through willpower, but through grace. Not with noise, but with quiet authority. The bed that once held your weakness is now your altar, the place heaven marked as sacred ground. From this stillness, power is being born. You've cried enough. Now, creation begins. When you rise, even if you rise slowly, know this, you're stepping into divine restoration. You are not who you were when you laid down. You are stronger, wiser, clearer. Heaven has already declared your comeback, and the ground beneath you is ready to remember your footsteps. So take a breath, anointed one. Stand when you can, because when your feet touch the floor again, the world will feel the shift of a warrior returning to their destiny. Chosen one. Heaven has been silent, but not absent. Every tear you cried, every whisper of "God, I can't do this anymore," has reached His throne. Nothing was ignored. Every sigh became a seed, every night became a record of endurance. You thought you were forgotten, but heaven was taking notes, not to judge you, but to reward your perseverance. You've been walking through a silent classroom where the lessons came wrapped in pain. You weren't failing. You were being trained. Because what's being birthed in you requires endurance, not applause. The heaviness that followed you wasn't proof that you were broken. It was the weight of glory forming inside you. You didn't lose faith, chosen one. You exercised it in the hardest way possible by holding on with nothing left. The season that drained you is ending. What you thought was punishment was actually preservation. God didn't remove the storm because the storm was building your authority. You had to experience the silence so you could recognize His voice when He speaks again. And He's about to speak. Soon. Clearly. Powerfully. I know you're tired, not just in body but in soul. You've been carrying promises that haven't manifested, dreams that feel delayed, and prayers that haven't yet been answered. But listen, delay is not denial. The timeline you imagined isn't the one heaven designed. God has been preparing you for something your old self couldn't carry. You've been hidden, not rejected, molded in obscurity, so your rise will have divine timing, not human validation. The bed that once felt like a battlefield has now become your altar. That's where heaven met you. That's where your surrender became sacred. God didn't need you to fight harder. He needed you to rest deeper, because rest is the proof of trust. Every time you stopped striving and simply whispered, "God, I trust you," the chains loosened a little more. That's how you've been winning, through surrender, not struggle. Chosen one. The fatigue you felt lately is the final stretch before breakthrough. You're not being drained, you're being poured out to make room for overflow. Heaven is exchanging your weariness for wisdom, your fear for fire, your pain for purpose. Everything you've lost is coming back transformed. Relationships, opportunities, finances, even your peace, all of it is being renewed. You've been asking, when will things change? The truth is they already are. The shift doesn't always begin with thunder. It begins in the quiet, when your heart softens again, when your hope flickers back to life. Right now, heaven is realigning things you can't yet see. Divine connections, financial blessings, and unexpected open doors are forming in silence. God works best in what looks still. The warfare was never about breaking you. It was about birthing something through you. You've become too strong to be deceived, too discerning to be distracted, too anointed to be silenced. That's why the attacks increased. Hell always hits hardest right before heaven releases. But the intensity is proof that your next season is near. Your sensitivity, the way you feel things deeply, the way you can sense heaviness in a room that's not weakness, that's spiritual awareness. You've been given a prophetic gift that reads the unseen. It's how heaven guides you. From now on, you won't just see storms coming, you'll command them to stop. You're stepping into authority, anointed one. You're not a victim of the atmosphere anymore. You are the atmosphere, and this next chapter of your life will prove it. You won't chase what's yours, it will locate you. You won't beg for opportunities, they'll align with your obedience. You won't exhaust yourself proving your worth, God Himself will showcase it. Because when heaven decides it's your time, no force on earth can delay it. So take a deep breath. You've made it through what was meant to destroy you. You're not the same person who fell to the floor months ago. You've been rebuilt quietly, refined, invisibly, strengthened internally. The same hands that held you in your weakest hour are now lifting you into your divine assignment. Chosen one, your dawn has come. The long night is over. The bed that once symbolized your exhaustion will now bear witness to your resurrection. When your feet touch the ground again, everything will shift. Not because you forced it, but because you finally surrendered. You've been through the fire and survived the silence. Now heaven is calling your name. Rise slowly if you must, but rise knowing this truth: the war is over. The darkness has lost. And the moment you stand again, the ground beneath you will recognize the sound of victory. Chosen one. This is the part where everything begins to shift. The heaviness that's been sitting on your chest, the fog that's blurred your mind, it's breaking right now. Heaven has been quiet, but not absent. Every night you cried and thought no one saw. Heaven was counting every tear as evidence that you still believed. You didn't fail, you finished a sacred test. Few could survive. You've walked through darkness that felt endless, but the truth is, you weren't walking alone. God was there silent, but near, letting the pressure do what comfort never could refine you. The pain didn't come to destroy you, it came to reveal you. You've been remade not in noise, but in stillness. Heaven uses silence as its most powerful sculpting tool. This new season is not about surviving, it's about receiving. You've sown tears for years, and now it's harvest time. What was withheld is about to be released. The delay wasn't denial, it was divine setup. You were being positioned for something that couldn't exist until you became the person you are right now. Heaven was preparing your hands to hold what's next, without it slipping away. Chosen one. You didn't waste those silent days. Every moment you spent lying still in surrender became an altar. The same bed that once felt like defeat is now holy ground. Heaven knows the exact weight you carried there, the exhaustion, the confusion, the prayers that had no words. God saw you when you whispered, "I can't do this anymore," and instead of judging you, He sent angels to strengthen you. Now that strength is returning, not as adrenaline, but as peace. You're not going back to who you were before the storm. You're stepping into a version of yourself that knows rest is power, that silence is warfare, that peace is proof of divine authority. What once drained you will now flow through you. You're not surviving pain anymore. You're translating it into purpose. Heaven is restoring what was lost. Opportunities, connections, joy, and clarity are being realigned to your path. You've been hidden long enough. The covering is lifting. But this time, you won't chase what's yours. It will locate you. The things that once ran from you will now run toward you because you've become magnetic to what matches your spirit. You don't have to prove anything anymore. You've already proven your faith by simply staying. The world rewards noise, but heaven rewards endurance. Every day you woke up when you didn't want to was a victory. Every tear was a seed. And now every seed will produce fruit, not just in your life, but in the lives of others who will draw strength from your story. The attacks intensified because you're nearing manifestation. The closer the promise, the louder the resistance. But you've already won. The enemy's goal was never to destroy you. It was to distract you long enough to miss your timing. But you didn't. You stayed, you endured, and now divine timing is catching up to you. This is your prophetic transition. Heaven is transferring wisdom, favor, and provision into your hands. You will no longer feel like you're running uphill. You'll feel carried by grace. Doors will open that no effort could have forced open. Conversations will lead to divine connections. Finances will flow where fear once ruled. You are entering a season where miracles will feel natural because your heart is finally aligned with heaven's rhythm. Chosen one. Even your sensitivity, the thing that once made you feel weak, is now your greatest weapon. You sense what others ignore. You discern what others can't. That's why you never fit in, because you were built to see beyond what's visible. You are heaven's radar on earth. You detect the unseen so others can walk safely through what you've already survived. The fatigue that once buried you is losing its grip. Energy is returning, creativity is awakening, and peace is anchoring your spirit. You'll start to notice small signs: waking up lighter, smiling without a reason, feeling calm where you once panicked. That's how you'll know the shift has begun. And when you stand, even if it's slow, even if it's shaky, heaven will stand with you. The ground beneath your feet will remember that a warrior has risen. The same bed that once held your pain will now witness your resurrection. You won't just rise, you'll reign. So take this breath, chosen one. You're not waiting for breakthrough, you are the breakthrough. Heaven has finished what it began in you. You survived the storm not to return to normal, but to walk in glory. The fatigue was the final test. Now comes the fulfillment. Rise, anointed one. The dawn has come, and this time it's yours to keep. Chosen one, as this new dawn unfolds, heaven whispers one thing into your spirit. It's time. Time to rise, time to breathe again, time to walk in what was always yours. You've endured the silence, the storms, the isolation, and all of it has been leading you here. You thought you were waiting on God, but heaven was waiting on you to recover your strength. Now that your heart is ready, divine movement begins. You are stepping into a divine exchange. The weight of exhaustion is being replaced with the lightness of purpose. The emptiness that followed you is making room for divine abundance. You've walked through seasons of lack, emotional, spiritual, and even financial, but heaven is shifting you into a supernatural flow where provision will meet you before you even ask. This is not luck. This is alignment. For years you've been faithful with little you gave. When you had nothing you prayed. When your strength was gone, you believed when everyone else gave up. And now the Lord says, I can trust you with much. This next chapter isn't about recovery, it's about overflow. You've proven that your heart won't turn greedy when you prosper, and your faith won't fade when you're blessed. The spiritual promotion is here, and it comes with new resources, new opportunities, and divine favor that no human can take credit for. But don't expect the shift to come through drama or chaos. It will come quietly, like peace replacing pressure, like grace overtaking grind. You'll feel it before you see it. Doors will open effortlessly. People will find you. Provision will chase you. The same bed that held your tears will now hold testimonies of restoration. Chosen one. Heaven is calling you to rise, but not as the same person who collapsed in fatigue. You're rising with wisdom. You're rising with authority. You've learned that real strength is not shouting louder, it's standing softer, trusting deeper, and moving only when led by peace. The old you fought battles just to survive. The new you carries presence, the kind that wins battles without words. You'll notice the shift in your spirit first. The anxiety that used to weigh you down will lose its voice. The fear that whispered you're not enough will fade. You'll start to feel a holy confidence rising inside you, not arrogance, but divine assurance. You'll walk into rooms differently, not seeking validation, but carrying peace like a mantle. The energy around you will change, and those sensitive to the spirit will feel it too. You are no longer the wounded believer. You are the healed vessel, the evidence that brokenness can still be beautiful. You've been chosen to carry light into dark places, to speak comfort to those still fighting the silent wars you've already survived. That's why your story matters. It wasn't wasted. Every tear became oil for your anointing. Every delay stretched your capacity. Every heartbreak softened your heart so you could feel the world the way God does. Anointed one, what's about to unfold will redeem every hard night. You're about to see why you couldn't quit. You'll soon look back at your exhaustion and realize it wasn't weakness, it was transformation in motion. God was burning away everything that couldn't go with you. You're lighter now, freer now, clearer now. And when you move, your steps will be ordered by heaven itself. The same spirit that held you together in the darkness is now pushing you into destiny. You don't have to strive, just align. Let go of control, because grace works best when you stop forcing and start flowing. The things that once drained you will now energize you. The assignments that once felt heavy will now feel natural, because they're no longer burdens, they're blessings. And yes, chosen one, there will still be challenges, but this time you'll face them differently. You've already been through hell. You're not afraid of fire anymore. You've learned how to find peace in chaos, how to pray in silence, and how to see God even in fatigue. You've become unshakable, not because life got easier, but because your spirit grew stronger. Now heaven calls your name, not as a wounded soul, but as a warrior. The fatigue is gone. The fog has lifted. The waiting is over. You are ready. Ready to walk into divine timing. Ready to receive the promises you once only dreamed about. Every battle refined you for this moment. Every tear watered this very soil. Chosen one, rise knowing this. Your story is proof that nothing is wasted in the hands of God. The same place that broke you has become the ground of your breakthrough. Step forward. Don't look back. The war is over and the reward is here. You're not rising by your own strength anymore. Heaven is lifting you. So take a breath, stretch your spirit, step into the morning. You are no longer surviving the night, you are carrying the light. Chosen one, you've come through the hardest part. The season of heaviness, loneliness, and spiritual fatigue is over. The night that seemed endless has finally broken, and dawn is here. You don't have to fight to survive anymore. Now you're being called to live. Heaven has seen every battle you've endured and is declaring this over you. It is finished. The storm that shaped you is now behind you, and peace is stepping forward to take its place. For years you've lived in survival mode. You've fought just to breathe, prayed just to make it through another day. But this new season is not about striving, it's about flow. You don't have to prove your strength to anyone anymore. God already knows. Heaven isn't asking you to hustle, it's inviting you to rest in divine rhythm. What's coming next will not require force, only alignment. You'll start to notice it soon. The same situations that once drained you will no longer move you. What once triggered fear will now meet calm. You'll walk with quiet confidence rooted not in pride, but in peace. You'll no longer explain yourself or defend your worth. The evidence of God's favor on your life will speak louder than any words could. Chosen one, you've been transformed from the inside out. The battles you fought in silence have reshaped you into someone unshakable. You now carry the fragrance of refinement, the strength that only comes from surviving fire. People will sense something different about you, though they may not understand it. They'll see light in your eyes, peace in your presence, and power in your voice. You're no longer just telling a story, you are the story. But this next season isn't just about you. It's about what God wants to do through you. There are people waiting for your light, for your voice, for your testimony. You've walked through the valley so you can lead others out of it. You've learned how to breathe under pressure so you can teach others how to do the same. What once broke you has now become your ministry. Every scar has become sacred evidence of God's mercy. Be discerning as you rise. Not everyone can follow you into what's next. Some relationships will fade quietly. Others will end abruptly. Don't resist it. It's divine protection. You're entering a space where peace is currency and distractions cannot dwell. The people assigned to your future will recognize your light without you having to dim it. Acceleration is here. What once took years will now happen in moments. What you prayed for will start to find you. Opportunities will align without effort, and the doors that were once locked will open on their own. Don't overthink it, just flow with grace. You've already done the hard work. Heaven is now doing the heavy lifting. Your anointing has matured. You're no longer praying just for survival, but for purpose. You've shifted from God, get me through this, to God, use me through this. You've become a vessel, an atmosphere shifter. Every place you walk into will feel different because peace travels with you. You carry healing in your presence, even when you say nothing. Chosen one. This is your supernatural rest, not idleness, but balance. You've learned that peace isn't the absence of storms, it's God's voice within them. You'll move slower now, but with precision. You'll say less, but your words will carry more weight. You'll walk lighter because you finally understand that the war was never meant to last forever. And now, heaven celebrates you. The angels that guarded you through the night are rejoicing at your dawn. The darkness that once hunted you now bows at your resilience. You are awake, fully, freely, fearlessly awake. So rise, chosen one. Walk in the authority you've earned through surrender. Live with purpose, speak with grace, and move with confidence. You're not fighting for your destiny anymore. You're walking in it. The silence has ended. The shift is complete. The light you carry is unstoppable. The world has been waiting for you to stand. And now heaven says, "Welcome back, chosen one." This is the moment heaven has been preparing you for. Everything you've walked through, the fatigue, the isolation, the breaking, it was never random. It was divine refinement. What you called collapse was really construction. God wasn't punishing you, He was positioning you. Every tear, every long night, every silent prayer became the blueprint for this exact season. And now, heaven declares, rise and receive. You're entering a time where grace will go before you. The doors that resisted you are about to recognize you. You won't need to chase what's yours. Your name has already been written on the promise. You've passed through the fire and come out carrying authority. The heaviness you once hated was heaven's way of fortifying your spirit. That's why even after everything you still have faith. That's why your spirit wouldn't let you quit. This is your divine awakening. You're not the same person who laid in that bed praying for it all to stop. That version of you was crushed so that the true you, the chosen you, could emerge. Heaven didn't allow the pressure to break you. It allowed it to reveal you. Now you carry a depth that can't be taught, only lived. You speak from experience, not theory. You minister from scars, not speeches. That's why your words will soon start healing people without you even trying. You're about to walk into rooms that feel familiar, yet different, because you're different. The energy around you has shifted. You no longer chase validation. You move with purpose, with quiet confidence, with grace that cannot be faked. You don't seek to be understood. You seek to be aligned. Your peace has become your protection, and your discernment your compass. Heaven has trained you to recognize what's divine and what's distraction, and this new clarity is your gift. You'll see opportunities others overlook. You'll sense divine timing in ordinary moments. You'll meet people who seem like coincidences but are actually kingdom connections. Everything that felt delayed is aligning perfectly, not a moment too soon, not a moment too late. What you thought was stagnation was synchronization. God was setting the stage so that when you step forward, everything will be ready. Chosen one. Your voice carries new weight. When you speak, the atmosphere will listen. When you pray, heaven will move. The authority you now walk in wasn't given lightly. It was forged in your weariness. You learned what power really is: not shouting, not performing, but staying soft when life got hard. That's divine strength, quiet, unbreakable, and deeply rooted. And with that strength comes responsibility. You're being called higher, not in status, but in spirit. You'll be led to lift others, to remind them of who they are when they forget. You'll find yourself comforting strangers, guiding the broken, or simply being light in places that feel dark. That's not coincidence, it's calling. You're carrying breakthrough in your presence now. Every space you enter will feel the residue of what you've overcome. Don't be surprised when you start feeling lighter. The burdens that once weighed you down won't stick anymore. What used to drain you will lose its power. Even your rest will feel different, deeper, peaceful, prophetic. You'll wake up with clarity instead of confusion. That's how you'll know you've stepped into divine flow. Heaven is releasing restoration in layers. Financial blessings will come, but so will emotional healing, spiritual confidence, and relational alignment. You won't just receive things, you'll receive wholeness. The emptiness that once haunted you will be filled with purpose. Every loss will make sense in the light of what's arriving. Chosen one, You didn't just survive, you transformed. You're not rising from the ashes as who you were. You're rising as who you were always meant to be. The darkness tried to end you, but instead it crowned you. You are the evidence that even in silence God is speaking. Even in stillness He is moving. Even in exhaustion He is creating new strength. So stand tall, Anointed One. The waiting is over. The blessing has begun. Walk with peace, move with purpose, and carry the light you fought for. The world won't recognize you, but heaven does. Every step you take from here is prophecy fulfilled. You've been reborn in spirit, refined by fire, and released in power. This is your awakening. This is your rise. The ground remembers your struggle now. It will remember your victory. The night has passed, the dawn has spoken, and heaven whispers your name. Welcome home, chosen one. Your purpose has arrived. Chosen one, this is your divine moment. The silence, the struggle, the sleepless nights, all led you here. Heaven has seen your endurance, and the transfer has begun. What once broke you now builds you. What once drained you now strengthens you. You are walking into peace, purpose, and supernatural restoration. Rise, knowing heaven rises with you. Declare it now: I choose to rise. Let it echo in the spirit. You're no longer waiting, you're becoming. If this word touched your soul, share it with another warrior and stay aligned, Anointed One. From this moment forward, everything shifts.